Hello everybody, welcome to the second in our series of Lunch and Learn sessions. I'm Sarah Kolosic, I'm the Council's Strategic Marketing Manager and I'll be hosting today's session. I think my camera might be a little bit blurry, so sorry about that, but hopefully you can still hear me okay. So today's session is about the Commonwealth Games. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us this lunchtime to learn more about the Games coming to Solihull in a few months' time. For those who didn't join the first session, and as a little reminder, as an attendee, you don't have access to your camera or microphone, so you can eat your lunch in peace if it's your lunchtime. You do have access to a Q&A chat box, so please do pop in your comments or questions. We encourage you to do that as we go along, and we'll come back to them at the end of the presentation and videos. The session will be recorded today, so please note that any comments or questions that you do make may be featured on the recording if they get published. The next Lunch and Learn session will be on the topic of fostering and will take place on the 25th of May at the slightly later time of 12:30. The session isn't just aimed at people thinking about fostering, it's more for you to learn about the council-wide approach to raising awareness and to have a little think about how your teams might be able to help in this. I'll add a link at the end of the session in the chat so that if anybody wants to register for the next one, they can do that then. So I'll now hand you over to Alison McGrory, who is the Assistant Director for Communities and Partnerships and is also the project sponsor for the Commonwealth Games in Solihull.
Hi, good afternoon everybody. I was just checking it was after 12 o'clock then. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm going to take you through all of the work and activity that we've been doing and that we've still got to do to support a really successful Commonwealth Games. Sarah, do you want to move on the slides?
Yeah, sorry Alice, I think they can't see you for the second, but I'll just try and sort your camera out, but yeah, they can hear you, so keep talking.
They can hear you. Right, this is quite scary. Only 15 Mondays left. We've been working on the Commonwealth Games now for over 2 years, and you'll see later on in this presentation that the level of that activity, but actually 15 Mondays makes it really real to all of us. So we are really excited. It's a great project to be involved in, but yes, it's can't believe it's coming round so quickly now. Sarah, my slides have disappeared.
Yeah, sorry, having a bit of trouble with the sharing. Give me 1 second. I think you might just have to be on audio. Sorry, Alison.
Okay, can you go on to the next one?
Yes, 1 second. There we go. They're up.
Fabulous. So what are the games doing? So the Birmingham Commonwealth Games start on Thursday the 28th of July and run for 11 days till the 8th of August. 19 different sports, 286 sporting sessions at 15 different venues, and I've listed all of the different venues there. This is the Midlands Commonwealth Games, but you will notice that there is one venue there, Lee Valley Velo Park, where the track and paracycling will take place, but the rest of the venues are all across the West Midlands. It's the first time that the Commonwealth Games has had so many host authorities. I think the Glasgow Commonwealth Games was run over 5 different areas, so this is quite a feat. And it's taken quite a lot of organisation and development to get this pulled together. Next slide, please. So just some information on the Commonwealth Games in numbers. So the Commonwealth Games, participants from 72 Commonwealth nations, a 1.5 billion global TV audience, which that figure is quite scary. Massive event across the world, but over 1 million physical spectators expected to arrive in the West Midlands. Included in that will be 6,500 officials and athletes, and a huge number of opportunities for short-term employment or work experience with the Games, and a really good opportunity to show the West Midlands at its best to the world, in order to look at how we can develop our economic growth and potential to show off the Midlands at its best to those investors from around the world. In terms of Solihull and at the NEC particularly, there will be events for the full 11 days at the NEC. Really interesting that lots of people around England probably don't realise they've been to visit Solihull, but they've probably been to the NEC. So one of the key things we've tried to do is make sure that we are making sure that people understand that the NEC is in Solihull. So you'll see that through some of our marketing literature and some of the events that we've got planned. So there's 6 different sports at the NEC, which are listed there, and also all athletes who are partaking in the Commonwealth Games will all be welcome to the NEC. So that's where they'll be sort of dealt with. Their paperwork will be checked before they go on to their own venues across the West Midlands. As well as a fan park, there is one of the 2 athletes' villages will be at the NEC. Normally with Commonwealth Games, its own single athletes' village is built. They didn't do that this time because of the timescale in pulling this together, where I think we had 2 years, and normally they have 3 to 4 years to organise these things. So a number of hotels at the NEC will be used as an athletes' village. We've also got training facilities at the NEC, and Moseley Cricket Club will also be used as a training venue. So in terms of Solihull Town Centre, for the period of the games, we will have 2 live sites. So there'll be big TV screens in Solihull Town Centre where people can sit and watch the games, or can be part of active, you know, really active things going on in the town centre and feel like that they are part of the games. In addition to all of that, we've got the Queen's Baton Relay, which left England last October on its journey around the world. I checked, and it's currently on its way to the Cayman Islands. So it's on its way back to England, and it is expected to be in England in June, where it will make its way up to the West Midlands. The other part of the Commonwealth Games is a 6-month Culture and Arts Festival, which was kicked off last month and will run until September. Solihull's doing their own Culture and Arts Festival to tie in with that time frame. So there's lots of culture and art activity planned and going on. Next slide, please, Sarah. Clearly, we want to get a long-lasting legacy from all of the effort that we've put into the Commonwealth Games. So there are a number of legacy objectives we agreed right at the outset. So they're listed there. So in terms of helping the economy to grow and succeed, that's looking at how do we market the borough, how do we support businesses, how do we use local businesses and support them through the procurement process to support the games. The global stage, there is a full tourism and marketing campaign that's been developed that really shows, as I said before, Midlands at its best, what the opportunities are, and really, you know, what a great place it is to visit. You know, probably the people who've lived around Solihull as long as me would think, well, what has Solihull got to offer as a tourist destination? Well, when you see some of the things on our website, Solihull, gosh, I forgot the name of the Visit Solihull, website. You'd be probably surprised by the wealth of opportunities there are within Solihull for tourisms, most notably probably our hotels. That in order to support the hotels in Solihull to maximise the opportunity from the games, there's been additional transport put on between Solihull Town Centre and the NEC. Clearly, it's a sporting event, so we need to build on the legacy of that in order to improve people's health and well-being. And there is lots of sporting activity event planned. Some of it started. You'll hear a bit more later on about the activities in our parks. We're doing lots of table tennis or ping pong, cycling. So there's lots of opportunities and things going on there around to improve health and well-being. The key thing probably is how do we get people interested in sport? How do we make it interesting and exciting so they continue, you know, following that sport or working with that sport or getting involved after the Commonwealth Games? And I think for me, the one that I get most excited about is the fact that it's an opportunity to bring people together. You know, the last couple of years obviously have been really hard for everybody. Isn't it great to have something to celebrate? Isn't it great to bring communities together, to get outside and have a big party? Clearly, we've got the Jubilee this year as well, so that's another opportunity to bring our communities together. But I think in terms of the Commonwealth Games, the more we can do to actively encourage our local areas to get behind the games and to do activities when the Queen's Baton Relay visits Solihull, the better. And all of those legacy objectives together, the intention is it will bring about long-lasting change. Thank you, Sarah. Right, OK, I'm going to show you a video in a minute rather than be listening to me all the time. And you're going to hear from the 9 work stream leads who are leading the activity around the Commonwealth Games. And they each lead of each work stream will tell you about the activity they're doing. So I'm going to pass over to Sarah to do the technical aspect of this, and hopefully the video will work. Thanks. We're really excited to have the Commonwealth Games in Solihull. It's a fantastic project to be responsible for, particularly after the last couple of years. There's lots of activity at the NEC with 11 days of sporting activity, as well as lots of other things going on around Solihull. We hope that we will attract a number of visitors from the NEC to come and visit Solihull, and we want to make it vibrant, accessible and busy so that people can really enjoy their visit to our town centre. In order to make sure that people can be part of the games, we will be showing the games on a live screen in Solihull Town Centre so that everybody can get really involved. It is a major project for us. We do have a number of work streams working on different aspects of the games, but it's a really exciting project.
My work stream involves supporting local businesses, making sure they make the most of the opportunities from the Commonwealth Games, and also making sure that the legacy from the Commonwealth Games means that we are seen as a tourism destination. So we are promoting our Visit Solihull brand, our website, and making sure that Solihull is seen as a place to come and stay. Solihull is part of the Regional Business and Tourism Programme, which is all about ensuring that we maximise the benefits from inward investment and from tourism within the region. That includes areas such as travel trade, promoting our conference and exhibition space within the region, and promoting the area as a place to visit internationally.
Yes, so Solihull on the Move is a framework that sets out to develop a programme to encourage Solihull residents to be more active more often, maximising the opportunity of the Commonwealth Games coming to the West Midlands and Solihull. We are offering a varied offer of activity for individuals, families and friends to come together to take part in sport and physical activity. So an example of that would be our Bike It Solihull offer. So working in partnership with British Cycling, we have 4 accessible and fully resourced cycling hubs in our parks in the borough. Another example would be Walking for All, so extending our walking programme to include family walks, resources for orienteering to use in our parks, and sensory walks for people who are visually impaired and blind. Other work that we're doing across the borough is working with Table Tennis England. We have 12 outdoor table tennis tables located across our Solihull parks to encourage families to come together and play table tennis, and we are having some pop-up ping pong parlours in the town centre on the approach to the Commonwealth Games, just to get a bit of excitement around the games and then to signpost to the provision in Solihull. In response to Sport England funding, we have a Commonwealth Active Communities funded project working with mental health colleagues on a community wellness programme in Solihull.
The events work stream looks after events for the Commonwealth Games programme, including the live sites, looks after the Queen's Baton Relay, and also looks after the Arts and Culture programme. The Culture programme has enabled us to reach out to lots of artists across the borough and get them engaged in the programme that we're delivering. It's an opportunity for artists themselves, residents that are thinking about looking at arts and culture, to get involved in some of the activities and programmes that we're putting on. So that'll be a lasting legacy, and we hope to ensure that those people stay together as a coherent network as we move out of the Commonwealth Games programme. I'm particularly looking forward to the Queen's Baton Relay. It's an opportunity for the Commonwealth Games to touch all parts of the borough, and an opportunity for the baton to be showcased to residents en route. There's lots of activity going on across the area, which our parish councils and local community groups are getting involved in, and just a really great opportunity to get out for the day, meet your neighbours and friends, and get into the Commonwealth spirit.
I oversee the traffic and transportation work cell, and I'm also here today representing the highway infrastructure team as well. We're working in partnership with Transport for West Midlands and the organising committee for Commonwealth Games, who are looking at planning how people will travel to and from the Games and make sure the journeys are safe and reliable. That's the key message. We've got all forms of transport, from car, train, bus, and hopefully some walking and cycling benefits as well, because it was badged as a sustainable Games for Solihull. I think the biggest positive impact will be the partnership working and actually the ability to bring large-scale events to the region, and we want more in the future to help boost the economy. We are developing the Games Route network in partnership with all the transport providers. These will be corridors for people to use to get from the venues, the transport hubs, and to the accommodation halls. We'll be promoting these around the community so people are aware of those, so we can plan their journeys. And that's one of the key messages we want people to look at, is make sure they plan, look at the game schedules to avoid the busy times around the National Exhibition Centre. In terms of planning for the games, we have a period of time where no major works will be happening on the network. We're working collaboratively with the likes of HS2, National Highways, to ensure the capacity of the network remains fully available for everybody to travel safely on.
I'm working on the street scene work stream. This work stream includes parks management and cleansing. And with our new strategic environmental contract starting on the 4th of April, it's an exciting time for the Borough and a great opportunity for our contractors to show what they can do. Alongside the cleansing, we've been busy tree planting across the Borough, including tree planting at open spaces along the Queen's Baton Relay route. At the beginning of March, we planted 9,400 trees with our partner Severn Trent to create the UK's first legacy forest at Hope Coppice in Shirley. Alongside tree planting, we are also supporting our communities across Solihull who are litter picking as part of the Great British Spring Clean, and we're supporting this through our Love Solihull campaign. All this collective action will ensure that Solihull is clean, green, and all our tree planting will hopefully create a lasting legacy for generations to come.
At Street Scene, we are really excited for the future of our new technology and operational functions with our new contractors, Veolia and Ida Verdi. Veolia will be working alongside us to deliver an enhanced cleansing programme around the game site. This will also include the Queen's Baton Relay, with key points along the way.
I'm responsible for regulatory services at Solihull Council. We will be ensuring that the food that is served to the athletes and to the public and in the event is safe and appropriate. We will also be ensuring that there are no rogue traders within the area surrounding the NEC selling unsafe goods, and also we will be making sure that the taxis that pick people up from the events are safe and properly regulated. The planning involved on this so far is just trying to ensure that we've got a consistent approach across all of the sites within the West Midlands to make sure that we've got enough staff qualified to be able to carry out the roles because of the NEC, working throughout the whole of the event, and just to make sure that the processes and procedures are appropriate to ensure that the event is carried off safely.
So I'm leading the Inclusion and Communities work stream of the Solihull Commonwealth Games programme. It's specifically interested in three things. Firstly, around community engagement, interest, participation, inspiration by the games. Secondly, we're really interested in children and young people and how they are inspired and get opportunities to take part in games-related activity. And the third bit is around volunteering. So firstly, we've been responsible for delivering a schools programme that's gone down really well. Lots of activity, lots of really great engagement. We're looking to see how we can get the schools programme to wider community activity. We've also in the process of purchasing tickets for our children and young people in care, foster carers and care experienced young people, and hopefully also for youth sector groups during the summer holidays. We've also funded the Celebrating Communities Fund to provide funding for physical activities, community events in association with the Games. We played a really key part in making sure volunteering is accessible to everyone in the borough ahead of the Games.
Working with the UK Health Security Agency, I'm responsible for developing a health protection plan and reviewing the Port Health Plan, which is focused on the airport. Both of these documents will help us all understand roles and responsibilities and procedures for managing infectious diseases if they emerge. We want to make sure we keep our athletes, accompanying staff and spectators all as safe as possible for the time that they are with us.
The aim of the Resilience and Sea-Free workstream is to ensure that the Council is prepared for a major public safety emergency in Games time. This area of work is delivered with multiple stakeholders with the common aim of making the borough a safe place for its residents, businesses and visitors.
Thank you very much to all the workstream leads that took part in that video. I know it might have been a little bit laggy, so I'll also put a link in the chat in a minute to where you can find it on YouTube if anyone wants to watch it again or share it with colleagues, but please don't share the link externally outside of the council. I'll just bring Alison back up with her slides now. There you go, Alison, you can start talking through the slides and I'll try and bring your camera up.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm really glad you did the technical aspects of this because I'd have just given up by now. OK, so hopefully you'll see from that video how much work is going on, and it is touching pretty much the whole council. Some of the things you wouldn't have seen there is some of the work that's going on around making sure that we've got our safeguarding practices in place, so that with the number of visitors and the athletes coming into the borough, that we've got those processes and we're all clear on our responsibilities. Austin did mention the fact that we bought tickets for the Commonwealth Games for all our care leavers, which was something we were really keen to do to make sure that they had probably a better opportunity than others to get involved in the Games. The slide here just picks up some of those key milestones. I'll just draw your attention to a couple of them. So probably the first one is this 19th of July, when the Welcome Centre opens at the NEC. So that's when we'll start to see an increase in people coming into the borough. The athletes training commences on the 22nd. So things will really start to ramp up from the middle of June. The key one for us, which is the Queen's Baton Relay, and we've touched on it a few times in the presentation. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to say much at the moment about where the baton's going, you know, because we're embargoed until there is going to be a big announcement by the Commonwealth Games, which will launch the full route across the whole of the region, and they're keen that we don't give too much away and take away the element of surprise. The competition starts on the 29th of July after the opening ceremony the night before on the 28th, and it finishes on the 8th of August. The Culture and Arts Festival will continue until September, so there'll still be activity after the end of the Games. So those key dates are really coming around now. So actually the one thing I didn't draw your attention to, which again is quite interesting, there will be an opening and closing ceremony like most games, and the rehearsals for the opening and closing ceremony and the medal ceremonies will take place in the NEC car park they've started now. And I think I don't know too much about the opening and closing ceremony, but I know there are some Solihull choirs, local choirs, that are involved in that opening and closing ceremony. So again, really exciting, and really the Midlands opportunity to what we wave to the world, really, and you know, and show the West Midlands at its best. Next slide, please, Sarah. OK, nearly finished now. So I suppose the final slide really is saying, you know, there are opportunities for people to get involved. There has been a formal volunteering programme which is about to conclude for people who are taking up active roles within the Games themselves. But there will be local opportunities for people to get involved. So if you are interested in playing a role in the Commonwealth Games, please email the Shaping Places inbox or contact Louise Baggett, who's the Commonwealth Games Programme Manager for the Council. I'm going to show you one more video and then I'll open it up to questions in a minute. And the video I'm about to show you, you may or may not be aware, features one of our most well-known residents of Solihull, Lady Leisha, who's recently been on Dancing on Ice and all sorts of other programmes, is actually a Kingshurst resident, or was a Kingshurst resident. So, and she's a key Commonwealth Games ambassador. So I think it's a good video to finish off with before we go to questions. No pressure, Sarah.
As Hannah said, I was just checking I'm sharing with sound, so hopefully everyone will be able to hear and see this one.
We go on the beat of bang, all as one, for the big moments, the big hearts, and let's discover it together. This festival of drama, this carnival of joy, this celebration of greatness.
Thank you. So I don't know whether we've got any questions, Sarah, because I can't see them. So are they in the Q&A bit?
Yeah, we've got one so far. So yeah, obviously everybody, please do send your questions in if you've got any. So Claire Bridge has kindly shared the Visit Solihull website. Thank you, Claire. So everyone can take a look at that. And hopefully we'll be getting lots of traffic to that from our new marketing campaign. So Julie's asked, if you're a volunteer at the Games, are Solihull Council staff given any special leave for this?
That's something we're working through at the moment with HR. I suppose it would probably be depending on what we ask, what opportunities there are. So we're still working through the details. But if you are interested, please contact the email, share your details, and we can come directly back to you when we've got more information on that.
And then I've just got a couple of questions. Oh, we might have had another one in. Let me just double check. Oh, do you know where the big screen will be in Solihull and what else will there be?
The big screen will be in Mel Square. I don't know whether anybody saw where the Wimbledon was on last year. So it'll be in the same position where the Wimbledon big screen was, right in the town centre. But there will be food festivals and lots of sort of physical activity and enjoyable family activity going on while the large screen's there.
Thanks, Alison. And have we got any branded material available for public building and space during the Commonwealth Games?
We will have. We've ordered quite a lot of branded material. We're also are in the process of pulling together some sort of Solihull based souvenirs for anybody visiting the area. I don't know what you're like, but I usually buy a snow globe when I go somewhere as a souvenir from a visit to the area, but there will be those branded goods that people can get. Oh yeah, and as Louise said, sorry, there is a smaller screen in Theatre Square. I keep forgetting about that one.
Thanks, Louise. Yeah, and in terms of where we'll be promoting possible events that will be happening in the run up to the Games, will also be the Commonwealth Games will provide us with some branded materials to do that as well. So any of the events where you might be able to join in and take part, we'll make sure that there's lots of branding around that so you know where to go. Lisa's asked Alison about free public transport during the Games that could encourage people to use public transport rather than car usage.
My understanding, and I'm pretty sure this is right, but Louise will correct me if it's wrong, anyone who's got a ticket for the Games, their transport costs are included on public transport. So so that's, you know, a really good initiative really to encourage people to get involved. We haven't planned anything separate to that in terms of people getting around, but yeah, if you are going to the Games, one of the Games venues, you will get free transport.
Thank you. Someone said that it was a great video. Thank you very much for the feedback on that. I've just got a question here around Alison. What is the main event that you would suggest people going to if they haven't got a ticket? What should we push people to go to?
If they haven't got tickets, I would definitely encourage them to come into Solihull Town Centre. When I can share more details about the Queen's Baton Relay, I think we're aiming for that to be a really big day for the borough. So I'd really actively encourage you to come along and take part in that. I mean, it is visiting lots of the borough, but you know, we have got some exciting plans for that day, which I can't share with you at the moment.
Yeah, lots of exciting events and activities being planned by the events work stream. And what do you think is the biggest legacy for Solihull if you could pick one thing?
I think the biggest legacy for me, knowing how our communities are getting behind it, is that opportunity for communities to come together. So all of our parish councils are interested in doing some activities. I think for me, any opportunity that brings our communities together to get people to meet their neighbours, there's always a lasting legacy from that. And I think that's probably the biggest thing for me.
Thank you. Another one from Lisa around any further Solihull branding opportunities at Birmingham Airport. There are large-scale banners for Coventry and Warwickshire, but we haven't got anything for Solihull at the moment.
We are working on something for both the airport and the international station, because again, one of the things that I've been pushing all the way through this is the airport and the NECs in Solihull, which a lot of people just don't seem to realise that. So it's keen that we don't miss those opportunities to keep reminding people of that.
Thanks, Alison. And in terms of tourism as well, do we have any idea on the expected increase in numbers of visitors or tourists to Solihull and obviously the potential impact on the local economy?
Oh, I haven't got the exact figures. I don't know, if I'm honest. We are working and we do expect to see large visitors, and we do expect to see the impact on the economy. Claire Rudge's team probably would be able to answer that question better than me. I don't think we've put a definitive figure on it, but we have got some guesstimates. I'm happy to come back on that one.
Brilliant, thank you. Don't think we've got any other questions for now. I'll hang on a couple of minutes just to see. So Louise has put a couple of things in there just to reiterate that all Games ticket holders can use public transport for free. Additional public transport from Solihull is being put on by Transport for West Midlands. Thanks, Louise. I'm sure we'll provide updates on that once we've got the details.
I don't know whether it's just worth mentioning about the tickets. So there's no free tickets. Despite the work that we've done, we all had to buy our own. There has been 2 ballots so far where you put in, the tickets are currently not on sale, but they are going back on sale. So they're not sold out. So what they're doing is they're releasing tickets in batches. So if you're still keen to go along, keep checking the website and have another go. I think the tickets go back, opens again later in April.
Yeah, I think that's right, Alison, later this month once they've done their seating configurations, which I imagine is quite a task. We still haven't got any other questions coming in, so I'll just remind people that I've put a link there for the next Lunch and Learn, which is for around fostering, where the fostering team will be providing some information, which I know Alison's involved with as well, but I won't make you do another Lunch and Learn, don't worry, Alison. But it's looking at sort of that wider angle of fostering and how we can really push it across all our partnerships, stakeholders, everybody that you work with in different teams, and not just within the fostering team itself. So it'll be great to get as many people there as possible. I think if we haven't got any more questions, we'll give it another 20 seconds because I know there's a little bit of a lag. But thank you very much, everybody, for joining. I've also put the link in the chat to the video. So as I say, feel free to watch that again and share with your colleagues, but please don't share outside of the council for now. And we hope to see you at the next one. Is there anything else you want to add, Alison, before we go?
No, just to say thank you for taking an interest, and yeah, as I say, if you want to get involved, please get in touch. We'd welcome people's involvement.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Alison. That's been a brilliant presentation. Hopefully everyone's learned a lot about the Commonwealth Games and everyone's excited now. And you'll be joining us for some part of it. Thanks, everybody. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye.
Bye-bye now.